Hey, softball fam. Goal setting and weekly planning. That is what we are discussing today. I'm Amanda Smith from White Zone Coaching. Thank you for watching this. So, we're going to do a review of all of the goal setting videos that I have done up to this point, just because I feel like it's a great opportunity to really look at without having to watch, I think, 5 hours of video, or maybe a little less than 5 hours. But I'm going to sum it all up right here and get you all up to speed as quickly as I possibly can. So, goal setting. Why in the world do we even do goal setting? Well, how do you know what you want to accomplish if you don't set a goal, right? Then, after we set the goal, we need to write that goal down. And the reason we write it down is so that it doesn't sit in our head and get lost potentially in all of the daily things that we do or the weekly things that we do. And that way we can go back and see this concrete. I wrote it down. It is a thing that I want to do. From there, we have to set a plan, because a goal without a plan is just a wish. So now that you've got the goal written down and you know why you want to accomplish this goal, that is huge, knowing why this is your goal. Then you can start to make a plan. And ultimately, it depends on if it's a short-term goal, a long-term goal, a midterm goal. And the way that I like to always start goals is to start way up here in the sky, right? Pie in the sky. What is the penultimate thing that I want to accomplish? And then from there, I dive a little bit down from the clouds and I start to come into the stratosphere of what does it look like to take steps toward that goal? What would be a milestone I want to hit halfway through accomplishing this goal? So that would be my midterm goal. And then what do I need to do this week to accomplish my goal? And what do I need to do today to accomplish the goal? And this is where the weekly planning that we do here in this call comes into play. So we get our pie in the sky goal, and then we start to think about what are some of the steps I need to take in order to make it to that goal. And then we whittle it all the way down to what do I do on a daily basis? And that's where this comes in. So this is my schedule. This was my schedule from last week. And we sat in the call and we worked through, okay, what are my goals? And I always pick 3 goals, because more than 3 goals becomes way too much. I pick 3 goals for the week, and they are for my pie in the sky, my cloud goals, right? I've whittled them down to what do I need to accomplish this week in order to make this happen? And then I write down on a daily basis what I'm going to do to accomplish those 3 goals. And you can see throughout my week, I've got, the things that I have to do that are already on my schedule, right? So for most of you, that would be school right now. You've got to accomplish some sort of school work. And of course, beyond going to class, you also have homework, right? So above and beyond what you do in class, you have homework on top of it. And I know a lot of kids are complaining right now about it's taking them 3 hours to do their work. Well, if it's an hour-long class, then you probably should have about an hour's worth of homework. And this is what college looks like too. So that kind of gives you an idea that your teacher's on track with what to expect in college. If you have a 2-credit course in college, the expectation is that you have 2 hours worth of work outside of that course so that you can satisfy those credit hours. So if your high school teacher or your junior high teacher is giving you double the amount of work that you're used to seeing, well, that's because they're trying to get you in tune with, okay, if this is a 1-hour course, then you should have, or a 1-hour class, you should have 1 hour's worth of homework also. If you have more than that, start talking to your teacher, advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, back to the goals. So now we write down our weekly plan to satisfy our goals. And the very next thing that we do, and you can see right here, I've got all of my days of the week and check marks next to them. We go through every day and we pull out our plan in the morning and we check on it and we say, okay, this is what I'm doing today to satisfy my goals. And then at the end of the day, you review and you say, okay, did I accomplish my goals? And you don't get to judge until the very end of the day. This is something that I've had a hard time with. About 3/4 of the way through a day, I will look at my goals and I'll be like, man, I haven't accomplished anything. I am doing horrible. No, it's the wrong time to determine whether I've accomplished those goals or not. Because you know what? I still have a quarter of the day left to really plug through and get it done. And I do generally. If I've written it down, I know what my plan is. I'm going to crank it out. And some days it doesn't happen. And you can see from my last week. So Monday and Tuesday, I gave myself check marks because I accomplished these 3 goals. But on Wednesday, I didn't. I didn't give myself a check mark. And what I like to have space to do, but I didn't, but I recommend to you guys is to write down why that didn't happen. And I know why that didn't happen. I didn't work on my website on Wednesday. And it was because I got bombarded with other things. It was a very full day and a very chaotic day. And I needed to give myself some grace that day. And I did. And I was frustrated with myself that I didn't get my goal done. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I realized I accomplished a lot of other things. So it was okay. So be okay with giving yourself grace. You're not going to be 100% every single day. You're not going to be 100% every single week. And that's okay. So then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I did good, but then Sunday, I didn't. Sunday, I didn't work on my website at all. And again, I had other things that I needed to accomplish that took up more time than I had. And in fact, I didn't turn on my I turned off my computer Saturday at really late at night. And I just turned it on for this meeting. So this is what it looks like to write out your plan to meet your goals. Taking it a step further, this thing behind me here, it might focus, it might not, and I'm going to turn it slightly so you can see all 9 spots. So I created a vision board. So I've got my pie in the sky goals, and then I've got visuals for my mini goals. My very first milestones is how I look at what I put on this board here. What is my first milestone? And it might take several weeks to get to that milestone. It might take a couple of days to get to that milestone. For instance, down here, one of my achievements is my website. So I'm building the website for the College Planning 101 Summit for softball parents. And my goal is to have that website completed by the end of this week. So when I'm done, I'll be able to say I've accomplished that. And what I do when I accomplish it, when I've hit my milestone, is I take off the achievement and I take off the picture, which right now it's just a doodle, and I take off the words next to it. And I put that in my achievement book. Let me grab that. This is my achievement book. And you can see right here, I've got one achievement, which was to qualify for nationals for powerlifting. And I did that on April 6th, 2019. And then I write down, how did it make me feel when I finally accomplished that goal? What did it look like? What did it sound like? What did it feel like? Not just physically, but mentally. And I put it in my accomplishment book. And then at the end of a year, or whenever you decide you need to look at it, when you need a pick-me-up, you pull out your accomplishment book and you can say, I've done these things, right? I have accomplished all of these things. Look at me. Wow, this is amazing. And it's a boost. when you need a boost, or it's a review of all of the things that you've accomplished. Because in a year, you can forget what you've accomplished. In 5 years, you can forget what you've accomplished. But now you've got a visual of what you've accomplished. And it all starts right here on this vision board. The vision board is organized. Mine personally is organized in feng shui. So it's specifically laid out so that I have specific things in specific sectors. And I would highly suggest going back and looking at that video where I break it down, but I can go through it really quick. So this is the top left corner, and we're going to go to the right and down. So wealth, reputation, love, family, health, spirituality, education, achievement, and travel. Now, when you're setting goals, keep in mind the barriers that you might come across. So if one of your goals is, I want to I want to go to college, you might have some barriers that you need to think about relative to getting to college, whether that's financial, whether that's support, family support, or even friend support. But there are barriers. Don't let the barriers stop you, but keep them in mind as you make your goals. And then in making your goals, also think about what's the smallest step I can take to accomplish that goal. This last week, what I wrote down for my goals was to open the website every day. That's the very minimum that I had to do to accomplish the goal. And I knew that if I opened that website, that I was going to work on it. But the goal was the bare minimum. The bare minimum was sit down at my computer and open up the website. If it's softball practice, maybe it's get out your glove, right? That's the bare minimum that you need to do to satisfy a goal. Because you know once you get your glove out, you're going to go practice. It's just how it works. So it's really sweet to really dive down to the bare minimum. What's the very first step, the very first thing that you need to do in order to accomplish that goal? Okay. That's all I've got. I hope this helped you. I hope the recap was thorough enough so that you can go and write down some pie in the sky goals, figure out your midterm goals. What's it look like to hit that goal halfway? And then what does it look like to work on it this week? And then write out your plan. What am I going to do on a daily basis in order to accomplish that weekly goal? Write out the plan. Know your why. Get emotional about your why. And the way that I did this last week was, what does it feel like when you accomplish that goal? What does it feel like if you were to win a tournament or go to college, right? Those moments of holding on to the trophy or holding on to the piece of paper saying you've been accepted to that school. How does that feel? And it should feel pretty darn amazing. And that's your why. Attach to that why so that you can continue on a daily basis to accomplish those daily goals. Okay. Have a great week. Let me know if you need any help in the comments on planning or on setting goals. Remember to be smart about your goals. This is the thing that I couldn't remember, and now I've remembered it. So now I'm going to share it. Be smart about your goals. Make them specific. Be very specific about what you're trying to accomplish. So whittle it all the way down to what days of the week are you going to work on it? How many minutes are you going to work on it? Something like that. Let's see. I can't remember what the M is. Make it something attainable. So it must be something that you can accomplish, that you are able to accomplish without too many barriers. Make it timely. That's the T. What is the R? So I'm forgetting the M and the R, which means I need to go back and review those for myself because I probably am not doing those. Measurable. M is measurable. Make it measurable. So that goes back to what I was saying about being specific, is giving yourself I'm going to do this on X days and I'm going to do it for X number of minutes. That is measurable. Uh, are relatable, I think, is the R, which it needs to relate to you. It needs to be your goal, your personal goal. So if you have a goal of winning a tournament, you know that this takes an entire team, but maybe you can find specifically what it means for you to win that tournament. What is your goal relative to winning that tournament? You're going to play in that tournament and you're going to play 6 out of 7 innings in that tournament. You're going to contribute on a daily basis or a weekly basis so that your team has your full support in winning that tournament. That's what that looks like when it's relatable. It's got to be personal for you. Okay, now I think I've covered everything, I hope. And if not, you've got the videos to go back and watch in the community. They're there for you to watch. And I highly suggest going back and watching the vision board video. Have a great week.